Well, I want to acknowledge everyone, so thanks very much for attending, and good morning, and thanks to fellow directors and shareholders and special guests as well. So I'm pleased to be here, and yeah, it's I never thought that once at the classroom, on a personal note, when I was doing the Master of Mineral Economics with Chris, we'll be on the same panel years down the track. So I used to wear a poncho just to blend in, and that was the time there. Yeah. Anyway, since then, what can I say? What a journey, you know. Galan has done a lot in the last 3.5 years, and I want to, you know, thanks to Paydirt, to give me exposure to this. 4 years ago, I was a mining analyst, and I was presenting about the battery metals. I was presenting about lithium and the market. And being a mining analyst in my previous lives, I was utterly convinced that the lithium was turning around, and this time was for real. What do I mean? I mean that the step change in the demand for lithium was going to be enormous. And here I am, 4 years later, I'm presenting what I went to look for, what I found, and what I want to do next. And what keeps me awake and what gets me out of bed every day is that I 100% believe in this project. And being a mineral economist, I go by fundamentals. So I want to bring to my shareholders a project with low risk and trying to get to market very quickly. So why Galan? Well, I find what I believe is the highest grade low impurities operating project in Argentina. So you cannot replicate that. And in other words, when you start at the top, you have less chances of failing once you get in. In terms of people, I'll go into the board, but we have very knowledgeable people with a lot of experience in lithium in our board and management. We do have access to water. We do have a way of getting water in a part of the world that actually water is scarce. We are 4,000 meters in the middle of nowhere at the Andes in Argentina. And we have also ways of doing this with low energy, and this is the key thing. So when you don't have much water, you don't have much energy, you need to come with solutions. Nevertheless, we went in the last 3.5 years, went to Argentina, raised money, explore, and have 2 successes because we have 2 projects in Argentina with a total inventory of 3 million tons. What does it mean? It means that we have enough for enough lithium to develop. We took the largest of the 2 projects, which is Hombre Muerto West, with 2.3 million tons resource. All of these under indicated. We took this into a study performed by Worley, and we used the Chilean office because they are brine experts. And we came out with a PS study or scoping study, our first pass into where we want to go next. But the fundamentals are very strong. We have one of the lowest operating costs in the lithium industry. We have a very competitive capital expenditure going forward. Don't get scared by the 30% contingency because this is a start. Once we get to feasibility, the contingency gets reduced significantly. And also, we are seeing that we can get to market quick. And we would like to get things going because we have already a path set to feasibility. By the way, for the shareholders that have been asking, the word feasibility study for me is semantics. We are going forward with the ultimate solution. Some people call it definitive feasibility study, which just means it's redundant, or bankable. I can't call it bankable because there is no a banking system to bank lithium projects today. We're not listed on the LME. So where are we? We are in northern Argentina, in the lithium triangle, and why were we so important? Our neighbors, if you look who they are, that will give you a flavor of where we are in the lithium hub. We are next to Livent, that's been producing for 28 years, lithium carbonate, and pretty much the start of the lithium revolution. So the Panasonic batteries that Chris is going to be ended up recycling them very soon. It's lithium that's coming from Livent, and Panasonic get these batteries into the Tesla model more recently, and Livent has just done an offtake announcement for more than $300 million to sell an offtake to BMW. So the area is quite hot. If you look, Galaxy, recently they announced they're going to merge with Orocobre. So that's going to make the company a very large company. And lastly, POSCO 2 years ago ended up buying the northern part of Ombra Morta for $280 million US. So when you look at it and say, who's POSCO? POSCO is an industrial company that now has fully integrated all the way to the base of, to be a miner. 2 years ago, they're looking ahead, way ahead of anyone else. And they're not miners, by the way, they're just industrial producers. So that gives you the caliber of the resource that where we are and the chemistry, and you cannot replicate chemistry. And this is the key thing. So we have a low ratio of magnesium to lithium, so I just want to, so it's a laser. No. So magnesium to lithium, it's on this axis. That's the ratio of how many times lithium fits into magnesium. And we have grade here. So the lower the magnesium to lithium, the more pure your brine is. This is the starting point. And our grade is significantly higher than the rest. So I keep repeating that grade is king. And why is that? It translates into a low operating cost. And that is not shown only by us, it's also shown by the production cost of Galaxy, and that they put into the study a month ago, and also the cost coming from Livent, and this is actual real data. So if I add more complexity, you want to be as close to zero as you can. So if you look at this cluster, we have a cluster of 4 companies that are very close to be one of the cleanest. And who are they? And again, POSCO, Galaxy, Livent, and us. So we have proven that we have a compelling story going forward. And not only that, we've done the first pass, and we show that this is something that we are developing and moving forward in a very fast way. So in terms of carbon footprint, we have, it's been demonstrated that the carbon footprint from lithium carbonate production coming from brine is one of the lowest in the world. So this is one of the reasons why we want to develop our project, because we can develop a project with a small carbon footprint. Also, the energy consumption, the intensity is low. And why is this? In our way, we have decided that we're going to go with evaporation ponds system. Proven technology, we know it works, and we know that we can use it, and we can get low operating costs because the sun is not going to bill us. So we're using the sun to our advantage, and that's why we can get low operating costs. There are other alternatives out there that they said direct lithium extraction, but they're all high energy intensive. That in our view, while we think that it could work, we prefer others to go ahead. And when the time comes, and if that's fully proven, we'll consider what to do. But at this stage, with what we know, it's still a big risk. And I prefer to walk away from risk as much as I can in projects, because I've seen so many projects failing through my 20 years in mining. Now, a corporate snapshot, we have a tightly held structure, 242 million shares on issue. Our top shareholder is Ganfeng, so it's lithium related. Our top fund is Thematica, and it's a green fund from Luxembourg with an office in Switzerland. And then there's a family office and private investors from Australia in our register. Directors and management's got 21%, top 20 shareholders 48%, and top 50 is around 60%. So we are tightly held. Our cash position is important. We have $15 million approximately in cash. And what does it mean for us? It means that we have enough money to develop our next phase study to feasibility, and we still have cash to spare. We have also $5 million in options being convertible. They're all in the money. So one could say that our cash position could be up to $20 million. So in terms of our board, the key board member, in my view, is Daniel. And Daniel has 28 years experience with SQM. SQM is still today the largest lithium brine producer in the world. And Daniel, if you add how much lithium has he sold through his life as the vice president of commercial for SQM, probably is the person that has sold the most lithium in the world by, if you account how much he sold. So he knows a few things about lithium, and he's been with us close to 2 years now. And he truly believes in the project, and because the fundamentals of Ombra Muerto are there. In my view, he came to the same conclusion as why POSCO invested the money at Ombra Muerto. So a map of where we are. POSCO, just for reference, is to the north of the Ombra Muerto. Then we got Galaxy here to the right, and neighboring to the south, we have our project Candelas. We have plenty of water access here to be able to reverse osmosis if we need to. Just for a bit of a flavor, that drill hole there, a lot of shareholders ran away when that came, it's 181 milligrams per liter. It's the same grade as Vulcan. So we have plenty to look after. We look at the Ombra Muerto West that is sitting here, and Livent is in the big, beautiful part of the salt flat, and the plant is sitting here. So what have we done? If you keep an eye on this area, I'm just going to zoom it in the next slide. This is what a plant looks like for evaporations. This is done by Worley. So these are all the evaporation ponds. And do not underestimate the size, even though we look small here, the projects are around 8 kilometers long. And you look in here at 5.5 square kilometers of ponds. So the fundamentals of this study take us where? If you look at the cost curve, we are in the first quartile of the cost industry. And you look at here, green bushes, everything in blue is brine, everything else in green is hard rock. So we're one of the lowest operating costs. This is really get us excited. And I'm trying to look for simplicity. While everybody's trying to look into produce lithium carbonate or lithium hydroxide, I'm trying to see what else I can do. So here's a comparison table of our company, where we're sitting. And if you want to compare to the numbers from Galaxy that they released not long ago, we're sitting very close to them. If you look at, I put Lithium America sitting here with $3,500 a ton, even though today, with the largest project on development in Argentina, we can match the operating costs. And that's what I mentioned early on, grade is king. Our grade is 30% higher than them. Even though we don't have the scale economy because we have a smaller project, we still can compete at the operating level. So what's next? Well, we have a lot of conclusions coming out of this. We know that we have enough resource to produce more. So we're considering increasing our production at Ombra Muerto West to 25,000 tons lithium carbonate installation per annum. We're looking what else can we do. And by moving the ponds that I show you that were in Patapila to the north, we can save CapEx. By increasing our production, we can do save OpEx. And one of the key things that came out from this study is that our grade before the plant was 4.8%. So I pushed the guys in the chemical engineers to give me what's the highest grade you can come out with, but in real life. So we tested this, we evaporate our concentrate, and we came out with 6%. Now, when you look at 6% lithium metal, not to confuse with 6% lithium oxide coming from concentrate in Australia, if I do the translation to lithium oxide, I've got 12.9% lithium oxide. So in other words, I have double the grade. So commercially, do I have a product that I can sell and place in the market? The answer is yes. Has it been done in the past? In the past, the answer is yes. Who's done it before? SQM. Who did it for SQM? Daniel, the man that I mentioned on our board. So we do know what can we do and what can we achieve. So lithium concentrate for us is a way to get to market quicker. So in other words, we're applying the Australian model. We're applying what Pilbara Mineral has done, dig it out of the ground, concentrate and sell it to China. We potentially can do the same. We don't necessarily have to go to lithium carbonate. What does it mean? If we can get the permit, and this is what I'm working hard for, we can get to market in 3 years instead of 5. We required $200 million instead of $338 million as per the study, plus contingency. So there's a way to go forward. And also, what else I can do? If you look at what Galaxy has done, they're starting with the stage 1 that I put on the previous page. It's 10,000 tons production. So what if I do that? Then my CapEx gets reduced. It's not 200 million. It could be 100 million. So can we do, with our market cap today, $160 million, and hopefully next year, by the time we finish our study, can we raise the money ourselves? The answer is highly likely. So in other words, we have a way to get to market quick. We have a way to say we're going to be a producer and we can make it happen, and not dependent on anyone else to come up with a partner to do so. Also, with a local flavor, we have the Greenbushes South joint venture with Lithium Australia. The Greenbushes mine is sitting here, and we're sitting 3 kilometers south from the pit. So, yes, this is State Forest, and the borders around here. That's the Greenbushes mine, and this is data from CSIRO. Do we have smoke in our ground? The answer is yes. Do we have the fault that runs through Greenbushes and passes to our area? The answer is yes. This is early days, but Ombra Morto as well. Once upon a time, geologists were laughing at me for going to explore in a part that geologically didn't make much sense to anyone else. So watch this space. We're doing this step by step. And where are we? What's next? We're finalizing our permits for our Pablo plant. We are maturing. We delivered the PEA. We're maturing the study. We are doing things in preparation because we want to start the feasibility study, and we want to have a Pablo plant. We want to have reserves. We want to make this happen, and we are fully funded for it. So another on our local flavor in Argentina, we have good relationships with them. They're very committed to the lithium industry to be an industry that is a long-term investment opportunities in Argentina. And if you look at Livent, they've been operating for 28 years. Look at the past of Argentina. Look who else is there, POSCO and Galaxy. I can see that there is a lot of confidence in the market and where we're going. So recapping, we have pretty much 3 legs, and we have a good project in Argentina to develop. We have the right people, and we're fully funded. So on that note, thanks very much, and happy to take questions.